What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Pee Wee the Plug, 1/4 through the wire, #1 Knicks fan in the world, aka Mr. Know-It-All, and we are back with episode 4, the biggest episode that y'all have been waiting for thus far. So right in front of us, we have our prospect scouting. We just did the NBA draft workouts because y'all know this is the draft episode. So in front of us, we have some of the guys that we just scouted and watched at the combine. For those of you that don't know or forgot, we have the 6th overall pick, which is our own pick. We fell out of the top 5, unfortunately. And then we also own the Chicago Bulls 12th overall pick from the Nikola Vucevic trade. So we have 2 lottery picks, 2 picks in the top 10. I can't complain at all. I would love to have a top 5 pick in this draft because, as everybody knows, there seems to be some sort of drop-off as far as players in the draft after 5. That's not to say that we can't get anybody that's good or, but the elite of the elite in this class are in that top 5 echelon. So right now in front of us are some guys that we scouted that we could potentially see being available when we draft at 6. Kuminga is ranked as the 5th overall player in the Draft Express board. He's 3rd in the 2K big board, and then he's 3rd in the NBA big board. So that's why we have him scouted, is because he's all over the place. They think he's the 3rd best. They think he's the 5th best. So with that type of, scout grading, there is a small chance that he could be available at 6. And if so, we'd be extremely happy. We also have Scotty Barnes here, as y'all can see, is the 7th best player according to Draft Express, and then the 6th best player, and then the 5th best player. Kind of like Kuminga, got us a little bit everywhere. We're going to scout him as well, because he is a guy that potentially may be drafted at 5th above Kuminga for whatever reason. I don't know, but if it does happen, boom, Kuminga's there. And if it doesn't happen, we scout him too. Keon Johnson, not a guy that I'm too high on, at 6'5", small forward that doesn't really shoot the 3 ball too well or at all, to be honest with you. Our team needs shooting. We lack a lot of shooting as is, so I don't know how I feel about necessarily bringing in Keon Johnson. Not a bad player, but I don't know if he's for us and if I'm willing to use a pick as high as 6 on him. James Bouknight is a prototypical guard, shooting guard to be exact. We have him 100% scouted. So all of these guys that we have 100% scouted, we can see their overall, which is right there at 74. Good size at 6'5", 190. He's averaging 23 in college. Shot 33% from 3, 77% from the free throw line, 45% from the field. Scouting report tells us Vernon Maxwell comparison is kind of crazy, but whatever. If properly utilized, he can help out nicely right away. So that's always encouraging to hear. Nice leaper, can play on a 12-foot hoop. He can take guys off the dribble a bit, has a nice little shake to his game, but the weaknesses are things that are real weaknesses for him. He doesn't pass as much as he should. Vision isn't great, has questionable basketball IQ and court awareness when on defense. Less muscle mass than you like to see at his size, even counting for his age, was a very, very interesting weakness of the scouting report. But these other 2 are actual real life weaknesses. So shout out to my boy, the infamous NY, for his draft classes, because these are real strengths and weaknesses that people talk about with these players in real life, which means he's doing an incredible job on translating it to the video game. Zaire Williams, they have him also at 74 overall. I like Zaire because he didn't have the stellar freshman year, but there's still hella upside in him and the potential with his size at 6'8", and then he has a unique skill set. He can do everything, 3-level scorer for the most part, and at 19 years old, if you continue to add to that, it could be some stardom there, potentially. Decent one-on-one defender, usually able to stay with shiftier players, gets to the rim okay, really good at finishing once he does, and he really needs the help of a double team, plays solid man defense. These are all incredible things and encouraging things to hear from a young prospect. Hasn't shown the ability to steal the ball. Upper body strength is an issue. They said the same thing about Kevin Durant. How's he going to box out? Pulls down the occasional rebound, not nearly consistent enough. And then his numbers, he's averaging 21, 6, and 3, 34% from 3, less than 40% from the field, but he's shooting 84% from the free throw line. 2 blocks and 2 steals per game. Moses Moody is another guy that I'm extremely high on. Like, if the top 5 goes how I believe it will, he's a guy that at 6, I would probably pull the trigger on with no doubt. 6'6", 205, great size. to be a combo wing, probably switchable defender. 19 points per game, 4-on-4. Damn near 40% from the 3-point line, over 80% from the free throw line, and then 44% from the field. One of my favorite players in the draft, in this draft and in real life. Everything that I'm speaking about these players in this draft is the same sentiment you'll get from me in real life. I'm treating it as if it's real life, and I'm judging these guys off what I believe them to be in real life. Archie Goodwin is a wild NBA comparison for him. I don't see that at all. Danny Ainge, sure, I guess. But if properly utilized, can help out nicely right away. Not the first time we heard that. We heard that from James Bouknight as well. Adept at disrupting the offense with his quick hands. Can take guys off the dribble a bit. Has a little shake to his game. And then weaknesses. Same thing as James Bouknight. He's bad at getting steals also. And doesn't pass as much. His vision isn't great. But those are all things that I'm okay. But when I look at him, I see a guy that potentially could be able to catch and shoot. And then attribute-wise, his three, is a 78, which isn't bad for a 19-year-old rookie. A 78 3. We look to continue to add to that. In his prime, he should be in the mid-80s. Free throws, 76. And then perimeter defense. Where is that perimeter defense? Because that's what perimeter defense, 74. Lateral quickness, 87. All good things to hear. And then hustle is an 80. So yeah, encouraging things to see from his attributes. I'll do the same thing for Zaire Williams because I didn't. What is Zaire Williams 3? Zaire Williams is a 62 rating 3-point shooter right now, which is not. It's not what we need. And because of that, I want to see Keon Johnson's. Keon Johnson's might be even lower. Keon Johnson is shooting, a 60 overall 3-point shot is just not going to work. It's not going to work. Can't have that for my 6'5" shooting guard / small forward. It's not going to be able to work for me. And Scotty Barnes is probably even lower, to be honest with you. 65. Okay, so Scotty Barnes' 3-point shot is a little bit more encouraging than Keon Johnson's and Zaire Williams. And then Kuminga, his 3-point shot is what? I passed it. His 3-point shot is 63. Mid-range is a 79, though. Really good mid-range shot. And then Bouknight, he's probably got the best 3. Only 68. Okay. Only 68, but the mid-range is 91. So Moses Moody is the best 3-point shooter that we've scouted. That's realistically in our range. Franz Wagner, they don't have his because we don't have him fully scouted. And then Corey Kispert, same thing there, but we know he's probably shooting lights out. So, pre-draft workouts, boom. Some of the guys that we scouted who made the most standing NBA 3-point shots. Corey Kispert at 20 out of 25. Moses Moody is right behind him. Cam Thomas. Is Cam Thomas 100% scouted? No, he is not. I think he's 99 right on the 69. Okay, I wish we had him 100% scouted because I'm really high on Cam Thomas. And depending on where we go at 6, we might have to look at him at 12. But without further ado, let's dive into the NBA draft. So sometimes I was just going to say they throw a curveball and you get a guy going number 1 that doesn't really belong at number 1. But we have Cade Cunningham going number 1, thankfully. Second, Jalen Green. So Jalen Green goes to the Thunder. They now have a backcourt of him and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. OKC is just nailing the rebuild. At 3, the Detroit Pistons take Evan Mobley. This has been such a great draft so far. I can see this draft going the same way in real life. Evan Mobley and Killian Hayes, now a duo in Detroit, along with Sadiq Bey. Isaiah Stewart is going to come off the bench. And then, boom, a surprise pick. So now somebody's falling. Kuminga or Suggs is falling because Scotty Barnes is going to the San Antonio Spurs. Well, I guess they're getting some type of Kawhi vibes. And boom, Jalen Suggs is going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the Thunder are getting both Jalen Green and Jalen Suggs plus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They have Lou Dort, Darius Baisley. Wow, I did not expect that to happen. So now we are right here. It's nothing to even think about. We are drafting Jonathan Kuminga with the 6th overall pick because he landed right here in our lap. There's no way. There's just no reason to not even overthink this. I mean, out of the rest of the options, I'm taking Jonathan Kuminga and his upside against the field. So great. That's great news for us. That's great. In a draft where we fall out of the top 5 and land with the 6th overall pick, for us to be able to land Jonathan Kuminga is very, very big. But it is telling. And the Warriors draft Kai Jones, which he would have been available way later, and they just drafted Wiseman last year, which means somebody. Oh, Jaden Springer to the Grizzlies is interesting. Moses Moody would have been a nice fit, or James Bouknight, which are 2 guys that's still available for us at 12. Zaire goes to the Raptors. So a lot of the guys that we're aiming for, Cam Thomas, Moses Moody, James Bouknight, still available for us at 12. Keon Johnson goes to the Knicks, of course, because Tom Thibodeau is probably looking at him and thinking Jimmy Butler vibes. Mid-range, post-game area, hustles, real gritty on defender, hard worker, athleticism. He's probably thinking Jimmy Butler 2.0. And then the first overseas player, Usman Garaba, goes to the Kings. And now we have options at 12. Moses Moody, James Bouknight, and Cam Thomas are also on the board for us. And this is looking like a great draft for us already. So I would love to, I like Bouknight. For me, it's really between Bouknight and Moses Moody. Like legitimately, they got Bouknight all the way down here at 23 as the 23rd best player in the draft. But man, I gotta think that James Bouknight is better than Mac McClung and Josh Christopher. I like, come on now. I don't even, come on, Mac McClung. Like, come on. Again, I want to review. Bouknight is 3 is at 68, but it's at the mid-range is at 91. And obviously he has all of the potential in the world to get that 3-point shot up to the 70s before we even start the season. We sent him to a training camp to give him like a +3 to his 3-point shot, and he's right there in the 70s. Hella athletic. Defensively though, perimeter defense is only a 65. His steal is only a 53. Lateral quickness is an 83. And you compare that to Moses Moody, who has a lower overall, but 78 jump shot, which means if we send him to a shooting camp, he's going into the league as a 80 overall 3-point shooter from day one. Perimeter defense is better at 74. His steal is higher at 66. And then his lateral quickness is higher at 87. I'm going to go with Moses Moody. I think it's actually kind of wild and a sort of a travesty that he fell to us at 12, if I'm being completely honest with you. And then the rest of the draft, we're just going to send him to our next pick. I do want to see one thing though, to keep it a buck with y'all. I want to look at one thing. We have 2 more picks. And then on contract for us still is Gary Harris, and then Terrence Ross. I just want to see what Kuminga from day one is already better than Okeke. Kuminga, and Isaac on the perimeter is going to be ridiculous with Mo Bamba inside. But what could Gary Harris? What's the value for Gary Harris out here on the last year of his deal with $20 million? What can he get for us? Because I'm not high on getting him playing time right now. Bringing in Moses Moody, bringing in Kuminga. We just drafted 2 perimeter players in the lottery. So where is Gary Harris' minutes gonna come from? And honestly speaking, it's not too much out here. Or Al Horford is nice. But, I mean, we're going to bring him in the mix with Wendell and Mo Bamba. That isn't ideal. Kevin Love has 2 years left on his deal. If Kevin Love was in the last year of his deal, I would not be mad at this at all. But I cannot afford. And he probably has a player option, doesn't he? Okay, he has no option. But yeah, I'm not too high on that. So we'll wait for you. What about Terrence Ross though? Terrence Ross. Seth Curry is a nice return. That's shooting that we don't have. Seth Curry is also a lot cheaper. What was his year like? What did he do? He shot 42% from three, 85% from the free throw line. Philly probably wants to keep that, right? I mean, Terrence Ross is a more exploding scorer, but Philadelphia probably wants to keep Seth alongside Ben and Joel, so we'll let them live. Jordan Nwaba won't work. Bulls, I don't want a second round pick. No. Rondo, no. It's not much out here right now. The Lakers aren't giving up Kuzma. That just doesn't even make logical sense. So I'm not going to even do that to the Lakers. I'm not going to do that to the Nets. These trades don't even make sense. So we're gonna hold put. We're gonna stay pat. Now this right here, man, if I was shiesty, I would do that. But obviously, I don't think the Raptors are making that trade. So yeah, we'll hold on. We'll hold on to our guys right now, and we're gonna resume the draft and go to our next pick, which is in the second round. So now we're gonna start the second round. We're picking fourth, and Cam Thomas is still here. This is just a great draft for us. Cam Thomas is still here. I do want to see who else is around. Is there anybody else that I like more than Cam Thomas? No. So I'm taking Cam Thomas. I'm telling you, like, I don't know how these guys are gonna pan out. I don't know what Cam Thomas overall is gonna be. But shit is falling in our lap. Like, the shit is falling. Obviously, I would have loved to have gotten the first overall pick and get Cade Cunningham. But dog, for all of the guys that we liked to fall into our laps, I couldn't ask for a better draft. And Jeremiah Robinson Earl might be the guy that we take, because everybody we've taken thus far with the first three picks, they've all been perimeter players. And I like Robinson Earl. Comes from a good school in Villanova, knows how to play the right way. Good size at 6'9". We're going to take him. We're going to take Robinson Earl. And then we're going to simp to the end of the draft and try to see what's out there for us in free agency. Rookie signing. He's a 77, he's a 74, 72, and then a 70. That's a nice draft for us. We look around the league. Keontae Johnson is 71. Okay. I hate sometimes that they do this. Like, some teams will draft 4 players and only sign 1. Very rarely does that happen in the NBA. Usually every draft pick that's drafted gets signed. Usually. Player options. If he has a team option. Do we want to bring back Dwayne Bacon? Dwayne Bacon, I'm gonna just let you sit in free agency, and if we feel like we want to come back and get you, we'll get you. But less than 70, like, yeah, I like Dwayne Bacon, but we could just give the minutes that he would get to, like, Cam Thomas. So we're gonna let Dwayne Bacon walk. So it looks like Kawhi Leonard is gonna be a free agent. He declined his status with the Clippers after they just won a championship, which is Kawhi fashion, to win a championship and leave. Julius Randle is declined. Their team option is declined. Nurkic declined. So free agency might look a little decent. No qualifying offers from us. And now here it is. The first 3 days of free agency. It says that we have a cap hold of $55 million. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here, go to our finances, and go to our salary cap breakdown. And we're gonna start renouncing guys, because I don't want a cap hold of $55 million. Otto Porter is gone. He's gone. And basically what I'm doing is basically saying those guys can go. Like, I don't need a cap hold for Otto Porter because I'm not bringing him back. I'm literally not going to bring him back. And now we have cap room of $4.5 million, which I don't know why is it that low. Why is our cap room so high? We should have a lot more money than that. Cap holds. We don't have any more cap holds. So why on earth? Salary cap table again, finances, salary cap breakdown. So Gary Harris still getting money from us. Whatever. Free agents. Roster. Let's look at the roster first. So we're gonna have Markelle and Cole. The 2 position is gonna be these young guys. Gary Harris and Terrence Ross at some point is going to be traded. Realistically, we got Kuminga, we got Okiki and Isaac. And then we have these two. So, I mean, realistically, I got some more wing depth to put out here with Kuminga. What does Okiki overall do when I push him to small forward? Boom. Yep, you're a small forward, buddy. Okiki is our best player when he becomes a small forward. And then what about Jonathan Isaac? Does he go up as a small? No, he goes down. So discard changes. And then Kuminga, do you go up as a power forward? No, you don't. So discard you. Boom. And now we have Okiki and Kuminga. We have Jonathan Isaac at the start of the season. He should be healthy. He'll be our starting 4. Wendell will start at center. Mobamba will back him up. Starting shooting guard, I might let one of the vets start, or I might let one of the youngins start. I don't know. I have no idea what we want to do yet. Free agency though, I didn't realize we were gonna have so little money, and we already have a roster of 14 players. So I mean, we might not make any moves legitimately. Because who am I going to bring in? Who is significant for me to bring in? I mean, I could try to get Duncan Robinson. Because I'm trying to trade. I mean, I'll try to see if we can get, I don't know, Gary Trent. Let's see how much money. I'm going to try to give Gary Trent the most money we can give. And it looked like Spencer Dinwiddie took his money back. But let's try to see if we can get Gary Trent Jr. with $8 million. Everybody else, yeah, there's nobody. Shout out to my guy in the comments. He was saying, why would Spencer Dinwiddie leave? He would just take his money off of injury and win a championship and go on a free agency. So I guess he did just that. Point guard position. There's nobody here at the point. I would rather let Markelle do his thing and let Cole Anthony get those minutes than to sign Reggie Jackson or that position's good. Shooting guard, we have some options. We got Duncan Robinson. Obviously, I just try to get some money to Gary Trent to see if we can pull him away. Same thing with Tucker. I'm gonna just load this contract up and see if Tucker wanna come. Just for 2 years. Quick little 2-year deal. Get you a little bag for 2 years. At the end of this deal, he's still 22, and he hops right into free agency. Why wouldn't he? You know what I mean? See if the Lakers want to match it. Kevin Porter Jr., I should have did the same thing with him, but I would rather have the other two. And I think that's all we're going to really try to go for. That's all we're going to try to go for. Let's see. They both agreed. Can I bring both? I don't want both. I don't want both now. I just only want one. I'll take Gary Trent. Looks like we're going to get Gary Trent, y'all. Gary Trent Jr. Is Gary Trent Jr. on the roster? Gary Trent Jr. is a Orlando Magic. And we don't even have room to bring anybody else. That was a quick free agency. There's 3 players. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 shooting guards. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have a 15-man roster. And yeah, I guess free agency is done. We don't even have any room to bring anybody else back. These guys, I'm going to put on a trading block to wrap up this episode. They won't even let me do it yet. My full thing yet. But the trading block will have Michael Carter-Williams, Terrence Ross, and Gary Harris. And then we in the youth movement. That's the start to the youth movement. I'm excited as can be. I'm going to probably play a couple of Summer League games with these guys. But until then, I'll see y'all next time. I'm out.